Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome, as a famous man once said. It's Lee Romang here with your weekly dose of all things Delkim. Delkim Live on a Tuesday night, 6:30 till 7-ish. We chat about anything and everything Delkim related or fishing related or whatever you really want to talk about. So good evening to everybody who's joining us. And tonight, bit of an itch. Sorry. And tonight we're going to talk about the RXD, our radio system, and what makes it so much better than what we had previously, and what stands it out from anything else that's available on the market at the moment. I hope you are all well, by the way, and out there fishing. Looks a massive boost, which is fantastic. One of the side effects or the benefits of what's been happening, I think, lockdown, we've been extremely busy, and that's great, and loving the fact that people are finally, really getting onto the product, and we're making as many and selling as many as we can. But I think that across the board, every tackle shop now is busy. Everybody who's ever went fishing is going fishing again, and the whole fishing industry has had a massive boost, and that is fantastic. Whatever brands, it's good to have a really buoyant and thriving fishing industry for everyone, and so that was always going to be the worry, and it looks as if we've come through the storm, fingers crossed, and there is a massive light at the end of the tunnel, and everybody's enjoying their fishing again, which is fantastic. Tim Tadgel, you're back. Hello, mate. How are we doing? So regulars, have a look. I'll say hello to people as we do. D Marsh, hello. Wayne Horn, Michael Lane, Michael Jocelyn, Ian Northwood. Who we got? Mark Battle Day. Sorry, Mark. Gary Duggan, Bill White. So hello, Bill. How are we? Sonic Mason on YouTube. Hello, we're on YouTube, and we are on Facebook. Nathan, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Mandy's on here as well. So, as always, housekeeping. You know what I'm going to say if you're a regular, but I am still being asked this every day. If you have the new digital alarms, be it the txi-d or the EV-d, your old accessories will not fit. These are the old ones. Okay, it's different design, it's a different molding. Okay, there's the old and the new, and there's the back. It's a completely different design. So the accessories do not fit. You would need V2 accessories. Here are the V2 packaging for any EV-d or txi-d that you buy. Okay, the only thing that's universal, the feet are universal. I keep getting asked, where are the V2 feet? The feet are universal. So the d-lok system, whether you've got the old or the new, the feet are the same. So they are something that you can keep if you've got spare feet. And the only other thing that's universal, the uprights that go in the back of your safeties. Okay, they are universal. Oh, that one's on. And they will fit. So if you've got spare uprights, then you can carry them across. But they're the only things that are universal. So, this is what we tell people day in, day out. But that's great. I've got to get it out there. I've been saying it for 100 days now. Is it 100 days of lockdown? Virtually saying the same thing over and over again, but that's it. So it's good. Roger Smith, first time viewer. Hello, Roger. Welcome aboard. We do this every week now. It is 30 minutes or so of Delkim chat, going through different various things, and answering your questions as well. So please, if you do have any questions, Delkim related or otherwise, I don't know, we'll keep it lighthearted, then we'll go through those and help you as best we can once we've done our main feature for today. The other thing, housekeeping, which we always talk about, our visual indication systems, our hangers. Okay, so there's, let's turn it right way around so it looks like it's how it's supposed to be. So that's our new nightlight indication set. You'll notice that little plug there. This is our Nightlight Pro. The oldest ones we make, still make. The plug is the same. They all plug in the bottom of a TXI or a TXI Plus range product, because they have a 2.5mm socket in the bottom. There you go. Always remove it by pulling down. There we go. And there's a new txi-d. You can see the socket a bit better because it's got a little coloured ring around it, and that plugs in there. Okay, I pull it down to remove. All our hangers fit all our alarms. There is no specific hanger for the new range, so you can use any visual indication system that we make. It will fit your new alarms as well as it fitted your old Plus range, or if you're new to Delkim, any visual indication fits, and it's all on there. Okay, all our website explains it. All our products are there for you to choose which one you like the best. Okay, housekeeping done. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to look at the new receiver, or year old now. We've been over 12 months now with the new range. So the RXD, what makes the new radio system so good, so reliable, and it has absolutely blown us away, the reliability of the products. I did some statistics the other day on returns and what we've had back versus what we've sold, which is what we always look at is, what have we sold, how many of those have we had back through a certain period, and the return stats are phenomenal. Should I say phenomenal? Should I try that again? Phenomenal, really good. We're looking at about 0.8% or less of txi-s back out of everything we sold. 0.8%. And that is unbelievable. And we're looking at about 0.75% of the receivers. Similar stats on the receivers as well. So the return rate is unbelievable, and that's how much effort we've put into the coating machine that we have. We've got a robotic coating machine which makes sure it's accurate and it coats. The circuit suppliers are ISO accredited, so that we're working to high standards. We put in, everyone is individually tested, and checked and made sure but when it goes in the box, it is working 100%. Every single one, even every single night light, is tested for durability and that it lights up. Okay, so nothing leaves us without being tested, and those kind of return stats for an electronic item that sits out in all weathers is unbelievable. So don't let anybody ever tell you that Delkims are not reliable, because it's absolute BS. Okay, so I'm proud of that. Our family's proud of that. The people that work for us are proud of that. So that's what we're looking at the moment, with all the improvements that we've made to the moldings to make them more watertight, all the effort we put into designing the product. Every minor detail has gone into making the most reliable alarms we have ever made. And the old ones were really good. We only got about a 1% back of the old ones, even over time. So we're ever improving as well. So that stat is coming down and down and down as we improve what we're doing and look to make even more significant improvements on these products. Our striving for reliability never stops. We do not sit back. But hey, doesn't help you if you've had a problem, and I appreciate that. There's still 7% of people who have got an alarm that has a problem. And you've got 3 alarms, yes, you have a problem. It's about how you deal with it. But that kind of return rate for an electronic product of any type is unbelievable. So we're really proud of that. But anyway, I thought I'd just get that off my chest. So sorry if I'm boring you. Right, so what we're going to look at today is our receiver. So let's get on with that without further ado. Switch to camera number 2. Make sure it's working. Yes. Hooray, that makes a change. So this is our RXD. And this is our old RX Plus Pro receiver. So similarities, just to give you some basics. We have a volume control. We have 6 LEDs. And we have a speaker. That's about where it ends on that. Again, the quality of the mouldings on the receiver are the same as the alarm. This is a fully digital system. This was an analog and digital system, and and I've said this before. And it's a good product, but it was past its sell-by date. It did need updating, and the only reason we hadn't updated it any sooner was because we were working so hard on getting the alarms right, that was the overriding factor, and we just need to get that right before we brought out the receiver. We had to have the whole thing ready. So yes, 15 years old, and at the time we brought it out, it was at the peak of its performance. By the end, the receiver had its limitations in certain areas. Still, for most, it's a fantastic receiver, and people don't have anything to worry about. But this is a huge step forward, and we shall tell you why. Okay, so no longer do we have a local and distant switch. So L puts it into local, which is about 50 meters, and then you put it into D if you need to leave your swim, and then you've got a push button on the back that does your pairing, and it's got vibration and anti-theft, which we still had. But one of the drawbacks with an analog system is that in certain circumstances you can get some interference, depending on whether you're fishing somewhere with a lot of radio activity, and local eliminates that. So please, if you do have the old system, or you've just picked it up and bought a load second hand, which we'll still service and still repair and everything like that, so that's never a problem. If you've come onto the Delkim brand, then we're really happy. Old or new, a Delkim user is a Delkim user. Always use your receiver in the L position. Okay, if you're using this model, always in L. You only need to have it in D if you need to leave your rods or swim for any particular reason. So then you've got about up to 200 meters range in distant, but it does use the battery up a bit more, and you might get some interference, static noise through the receiver. So we'll put that to one side. That's just a little bit of a catch up on that one. So what have we got with this receiver? Okay, so bearing in mind this had over 6,000 hours of battery life. This receiver has in excess of that. So battery life is something that Delkim has always been very proud of. It's where we came from Octonic days. So making sure we had good battery life is key. So this is even more economical on the battery than the previous version. So battery life never an issue with Delkim products. So those that are using them, you will know that for sure. This receiver is fully digital, so no pops and crackles. Everything works. It's got better penetration, better range. This now has, out the box, it has 3 levels of ranges, but the standard range is, it's 750 meters in the line of sight. So yes, you're not going to be that far away from your rods, but that is a plenty usable range to walk up and down. If you need to go next swim, you don't have to worry about anything. It just works. And it has an option to have a boost, where you can have up to 20% more, which is about 1,000 meters in line of sight. And then you can also set it to a short range, which is sort of a battery saving feature. If you buy your rod, you can put it into short range, and then you've got about 50 meters, and that maximizes your battery life. So it's like having a car that has an eco button, or like a boost stroke turbo button. You can drive it normally, no problem at all. If you want to drive it economically, then you put it into short range. And if you want to drive it, and really push it hard, well, then you can put it into the boost setting on here, and you'll have 15 minutes of maximum range, and then it will default back to the standard range, because it does use the battery up a bit more. Again, it's all about battery life. So how do we turn it on? For these, is very basic. We turn it on by, I already had it on. There we go, because I was playing it earlier. So turn it on, 3 buttons on the front, turn it on, hold all 3 buttons down, and now it's on. And when you turn it on, you've already paired it, and now that tells you that you've got the anti-theft. So what features have we got on this alarm, on this receiver? We've got the boost, we've got the range change, which I've already showed you about, when that's holding this button down here. So there, out the box, it's in 2 LEDs, red, which is standard range. If I hold it down, I can change it to short range, which is the first LED. If I hold it down, I can go back to standard, or if I hold it down and go 3, now I'm in maximum range. And if I turn on an alarm, which I've got here, there we go, you can see. So I've got a maximum range, clear as a whistle. No static. I'm in the middle of a town where I live in Northampton. Don't mind telling you, you can't find me. Maybe you will. I don't know. Don't come and get me. And there we go. So, and if I want to, I can put it back to standard or short range. And away we go. What other features have we got? Well, a fantastic feature that complements our sensitivity and beep speed, the response and beep speed that we have now, is what we call D&D. So if I hold down these two buttons, so this is push button 2, so we go 1, 2, 3. So push button 2, push button 3, hold them down. That is now in what we call D&D. So for this, if I fishing and suddenly it starts to chuck it down, everything's okay, and it absolutely starts to belt it down, and a heavy rain comes and everything's bouncing around and all your alarms are beeping and beeping and beeping and beeping, and can be annoying. These are vibration alarms, so if there's lots of vibration being set up, then that can set off the alarms. That's the way they work, and 99% of the time, or 99.9% of the time, it's never an issue. But it can be slightly annoying when you're in heavy rain that's going to pass, that everything starts bouncing around. You don't want to get out and churn all your response levels down. So you set D&D on your receiver, as I just did there, and now it will miss. I give that a little gentle tap. You can see the LED's going off, but it's not being picked up on the receiver. So that's the tap tap of the rain. But if I get anything that goes on for, there you go, 4 seconds or more, that comes through on the receiver. So it'll ignore all those single pulses, but if you get a run effectively during that period, it will go off through the receiver. So that's a fantastic feature. You don't have to get out there and change everything. So while that squall or hailstones is going on, and I'll do that again, you'll see that that's missing those single taps. You can see that LED's flashing. But if I keep tapping 1, 2, 3, 4, there you go, it kicks in. And that will time out after 15 minutes, or you can turn it off yourself. Oh, can't turn it off when the LED's on. Now wait for that to turn off, and then you turn that off yourself once the shower's passed, and then you're back to normal again. So that's, a fantastic feature that we have there. And there you go, I could just do that. There you go, and now that's deactivated it. Another fantastic feature is run light. So if I turn this on, okay, and you can just see all the LEDs light up there, just to confirm I've turned that on, and that's by holding down push button 1 and push button 2. And the same thing will happen again if I tap this. After 4 seconds, this is emergency lighting in your bivvy, effectively. So if I keep tapping this, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the LEDs light up. So now at night, that gives you emergency lighting in your bivvy. No need for a bivvy light. Why do you need an extra piece of kit that you have to pair up with your alarms or whatever it is? You've got that feature there. Just turn that on at night. Go to bed. It will ignore single pulses, so it won't just keep coming on full run light mode just with single pulses. Only if you get a continuous run, which means you have to get up and do something. There you go. All the LEDs come on. And that's more than enough to illuminate the bivvy, get your boots on, and away you go. So that's fine. Let's just have a look. Homeless guy, I heard there were problems with the new ones. Heard water was getting into them. Absolute nonsense. Don't know where you've heard it from. Somebody please tell me who's having problems with new alarms. As I've just said earlier in the video, if you weren't here, we have had less than 0.8% back of all the alarms that we have sold in over 12 months. 0.8%. And we have sold an awful lot of alarms. An awful lot of alarms. They have, and we've sold most alarms that we've ever sold in a 12-month period. So I think there's, it's not true. There isn't anything wrong. So I can assure you, whatever people are saying, maybe they have a vested interest. I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, we'll move back to this. What else do we have on the receiver? So vibro is, you can adjust with the middle button, number 2 in the middle. So if I hold it down, you might be able to hear it and see it. That turns the vibro off. if I do this, okay, so that turned the vibro back on. 1 pip was 1 pip and 1 buzz. I can set it to buzz twice or 3 times. So now that's buzzing 3 times. You might just be able to hear that vibrating. I don't know whether you can't see it, obviously, but you can just about hear that vibrating on the desk there. So you can adjust the vibration level to suit you, or I can turn the vibration off. That's entirely up to me or yourselves. Okay, I can have the last channel recall. So if I do this, oh, hang on, there you go. Hold that button down there. That brings up the last channel that was activated. So I'm obviously playing with the green one. So there's the green one. It just lights that one up. What else can you do? I can turn the anti-theft off. So we have security, and one of the big features, and it is related to the alarms, but the security aspect, we have a unique movement detection system, which only works through the receiver. It doesn't work if you don't have the receiver turned on. So our anti-theft, as normal, if I turn the alarm off, it sets off the alarm on the receiver, and by pressing any button, that cancels that. So that's the same as we had when we first brought that out in 2003. We were the first company to have that, and others have now followed suit, and now, you know, everybody seems to have that kind of style. But we were the first, and we've kept that on this model. What we also have now, and I will set this on here, is a movement detection system. So to set it, all I do is I turn the alarm on, let go of that button, and that flashing there indicates that the movement detection system has been activated. So now it takes about 30 seconds to settle. So you would do that. Let's move it into shop. So you would do that when you're settling down for the night and going to, you know, get in your bivvy, or you were leaving your swim. You might want to reel in, set your alarms to the added security setting, and then if somebody comes along and they try and physically move the alarms, then it will set off the anti-theft on the receiver. So if I move this now, it's going to do it eventually. There you go. So by moving that, that sets off the alarm. So again, that is an added level of security that no other system has. And again, if you think you've got 2, 3, or even maybe 4 alarms on a pod, you've got 4 more chances of it being picked up. So the effect of it is increased by every single alarm that you have. So that, and I've shown a video on that, that's a system there that nobody else has. So again, if I move that around, you can see it didn't take much there to set that off. And by pressing that, that turns that off on the receiver. If I don't want to have any security on my receiver, I can just hold the outer 2 buttons, and that turns the anti-theft off. So if I shake that, and if I turn that off now, oh, there we are. So the anti-theft is deactivated. If I turn I can activate it back on again by holding those 2 buttons again, or turning the receiver off and back on. That indicates that the default position is always security on. I'd rather you had to turn it off than it was already turned off and then somebody had your alarms and you went, oh no, the receiver didn't go off. Well, it's always a default of the security on for that exact reason. All right, so that's how it works. And somebody's asking, do they work underwater? No, we don't fish underwater. So they are designed to work in all weathers. They are weatherproof, as weatherproof as anybody can make them. Anything with a socket in it, anything with a socket in it, they were talking about the alarms now, cannot be classed as waterproof because it's got a hole in it. But for all intents and purposes, if that hole was not there, we would be able to claim as waterproof. And it's the same with all the alarms. If there's a socket, then it can't, be claimed as waterproof. But, the reliability of these shows that they work in all weathers and have been designed to do so, and will continue to work that way. So yeah, we don't fish underwater. If you do drop one in, then if you get it out and give it a quick shake, and it's going to be okay. If it's in for an extended period of time, then you'd have to see what you can do. But yeah, they're designed to work, and they always have done and always will. That's our main focus, is weatherproofing and reliability. So that's this little gizmo here. Okay, this is by far the best receiver we've ever made. It's got some fantastic unique features that no other system has. It's got more battery life than any other radio system. Okay, it's got fantastic range. That's what it's got. We don't play the game of who's got the furthest range on any receiver. This has 750 meters in a line of sight. If that ain't enough to go and do what you need to do, then maybe you're doing the wrong thing. But it has more than enough range, and everybody's using it. Has got no problem at all. It does what it's supposed to do. It penetrates through all areas, through the trees. It does what it needs to do, and it works perfectly. And we have had no issues at all with this system. I'm not saying we don't have any back for being faulty, but what I'm saying is that the performance of it is absolutely as it should be. When it's working, if somebody's got a faulty item, out of the 0.8% that we've had back so far, yes, a faulty receiver out the box, or one that's not transmitting, completely different. But it works. It goes through everything. Nobody's said, oh, it doesn't go through that tree, or I'm standing over there with my mate, it doesn't pick up. No, absolutely perfect. So we are very, very proud, which is why I'm a little bit on my high horse today. But we are so proud of what we are making at the moment, and that's why this receiver does knock spots off the old one, and it is a fantastic receiver. Better range, better battery life, more features that you can use or not. You can still just turn it on and use it. But that D&D is a fantastic feature. Then it's and the run light. Nobody needs a bivvy light. That is such a great feature as well. So I hope you can see how that this really does move things forward. And yes, you could say, well, why didn't you bring it out 5 years ago? Well, this wasn't ready, and you have to have both. And the alarm itself now is streets ahead of the old one in terms of its performance and what we offer with the beep speed and the security and the reliability. Still all works on vibration, and the old system is still fantastic. And there are loads of people out there that will use the old system till the day they die, and that's fair enough. And we will continue to support those people. And some people like the fact that it's just got a switch and things like that. Okay, but this is simple. It's on off with the two buttons. I can turn this off with 3 buttons, and that's it. So they are simple to use. Don't be scared just because it hasn't got a switch. It's not the end of the world. There's buttons on everything. You got buttons all over your car, so I'm sure you can drive a car and you can use stereo and do all these things. So yep, it's just that's how it is. So back to me. Hello. So hopefully that gives you some understanding of why this is a real step forward. And if you are thinking about Delkim, if you are looking to update or upgrade in the future, hopefully that gives you an idea of what you're going to be letting yourself in for. And we don't bring new products out very often. 15 years we took to update the old one. Now you're not going to get a new alarm out next week to supersede. Just not going to happen. All right. So let's answer a few questions now, and we'll go through and let's see what we've got, just to make sure everybody's getting answered and spreading the love. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Any questions? Can't get my txi-ds on the bank next week. Linear? Yes, Tim. Get out there, mate. Get fishing. Just trying to decide which hangers to get. Gary Duggett. Well, I don't know. What type of fishing do you do? If you're doing medium range, as I say, if you go on our website, and there is a wonderful comparison chart on there. It's got all the hangers, and it will tell you, what sort of fishing you do, what weight they have, where you're going, what you need, and hopefully that will help you understand which one maybe gives you the most options, which one is more specific to your fishing. It should be really straightforward, and which one's versatile. How to change the night light brightness. You cannot change the night marking brightness, JBiz. So the night marking is fixed. You can change the brightness of the run when you get a run, the light for day and night, but you can't change the night marking. How long is the turnaround if I send my alarms to be updated? I've got the RxD and it flashes every 2 minutes. The update would be about a week. Billy, if you do that via our app, we can do that quickly. Let's have a look. I need 3 Cinematic Pro pins. What go in front of the txi-Ds? Have you got any spares? You mean these little wire forms? They're called Slim Carb wire forms. Download our app. Go to the spare section. They are free. All right. So Slim Carb wire forms. So Gary Beardsley, hello. Answered that. Who said I had a cup for every set purchase? Yes, I'm going to give everybody a cup and a t-shirt. Haven't got any in stock. So that you'd have to ask the shops, but don't forget we don't sell direct, the shops do. So do I need the new type? That's the thing. Well, Ted, you're going to have to make that decision yourself. So Ted on Facebook. Can I ask? It's probably a stupid question, but with the txi-Ds, can you change the actual night marking LED brightness? No, Robert Finch, the night marking is fixed. That's just the little glow that just shows you that it's on. Does away with beta light, something we've had. It's a unique feature to us. Other people try to copy in different ways, but nobody can do it like we do with the 2 LEDs. It is a patented feature, so that's it cannot be adjusted on the brightness. The only thing I don't like is when the RxD is on a lanyard around your neck. It don't sit right, or am I missing a clip? Dean Marsh, have I got a lanyard clip with me? You can, the lanyard will go in different ways. Have I got a lanyard? I don't think I've got one with me, or the clip. So I don't know, mate. I don't use the lanyard myself, so it will go in either way, and you can attach the lanyard. I have shown that in a video. I must have a lanyard somewhere. It might be in a different box. Sorry, I haven't got it to hand. But you can attach it to different ways. So I don't know. You've only got to change the orientation of the clip, and it should hang straight down if that's what you need. So it should sit like that. What's the range on the RxD? Michael Lane, 750 meters in a straight line. In standard range, you can have boost, and that will give you up to about 1,000 meters in a straight line. So if you need to be further than that, you're doing the wrong type of fishing, I think. Cool Slim Design. Have really quality alarms. Love it. Andrew Catlin, thank you very much. Andre Catlin, thank you very much on Facebook. Just bought a brand new set, and one of the jack plugs don't work. Craig McShane, is that the new ones? What you mean, the socket in there? Okay, I'm very sorry if that's happened. If there is a faulty plug, then take it back to the shop, and they will exchange it straight away, obviously. Or you can return it to us directly if that is easy. If you bought it by mail order, perhaps, and we will exchange it for you if the plug is not working. Just double check the hanger in a different socket of alarm, just to make sure it's not the hanger that's at fault, just to do a double check, and then we'll sort that for you. Let's get through a few more as we can. We've just passed the 7 o'clock mark, but I need to go through there. Just received new alarms. Please, I upgraded. Good. Matthew Pillsworth, glad you updated. In mute mode, can you set it to mute the receiver as well as head gear? Matthew, no. And the reason for that is, and I'll turn the alarms on. That's on. Okay, I'll turn the receiver on. Okay. So I put this into mute. It still comes through on the receiver. If I muted the receiver, I could take this and nobody would know. So the reason it still comes through on the receiver and doesn't mute the transmission is because that's security again. If I muted the transmission, somebody could just put that in mute and you'd never know that they had gone off with your stuff. So it's all about security. So that is the reason for that. There is always method in our madness. Always method in our madness. What we got. Poured down on Sunday night. Absolutely perfect, and definitely no water got into them. John Martret. Sorry if I can't pronounce that. I'm rubbish at surnames. I really am. Sorry. John on Facebook. Yes, they work. No, Robert Finch asked again. There was a video shared over the week of someone fishing in the rain and not using the D&D, and the alarms kept beeping, so it proves some people have no idea. Well, I can't stop people not using them properly, and that's half the issue. And those people who want to necessarily give Delkim a bad name, go, oh, they go off in the rain. Yes, that's because the rain's hitting the line. So if you're using loads of vibration and it's doing this, you've got to adjust it. If it's continual rain, but if you've got D&D and it's a short, sharp shower, 15 minutes, or you can re-engage it if it's half an hour. But, you know, generally a shower lasts, you know, maximum 15 minutes, then that does that. If you've got a fault, then that's a different kettle of fish. And, of course, we're here to help at all times, what else we got? Let's have a look. I will get to the bottom and then we'll be done. The pin you have on the alarm, do you spares, please? The pin. Craig Beardsley, do you mean these? Don't know if it's the pin or is it the plug in there. I don't know. Spares section on our app. Any bits you can get for free. So go to there. Nightlight Pro, can you use it without the hanger? And also, how comes I cannot change my profile picture on the app? I don't know why you can't change your profile picture on the app. I have no idea. Danny3636. I don't know if you're using Android or iOS, but you can use a Nightlight Pro. This is a Nightlight Pro. It comes without a hanger, so it only comes like that. So yeah, you don't have to use a duocarb. You can use it as free hanging. You can use, and always remove like that, you can use any of our hangers as free hanging if you want to. But the point being is, because the carbon and the arms are so light, and this will be the Nightlight indication set, that slides up and down the arm. It doesn't affect the way it moves. It just stops it moving from side to side in the wind. So it's only ever going to get windy. So why wouldn't you have it connected? But, you know, that's your choice. That's your choice. What do those wire things do? Chris, what do the wire things do? They allow you to put the arm on the front of the... So that's how the arm fits. So if you've got the new alarms, you put the little wire form in, and that's where the arm fits on the front. You just leave that in place as you go. Turn it off. Just activated that. I want to get through as many questions as we only do it once a week. I want to make sure everybody's answered. So Chris Kell, there you go on YouTube. Used mine already on 2 sessions, even in the mad weather. 2 weeks going amazing. Thank you, Carl Cartwright. Thank you. Are running lights working with D&D? Tom Dooley. Are running lights working with D&D? Not quite sure what. Oh, run light, I think. So when the... Yes, you can have... so if I turn that on, I can have D&D on, and I can have run light on, and there you go. So you can have D&D and run light working at the same time if you wanted to. That's entirely up to you. And you can lock D&D on. I'll turn that off. You can lock D&D on, and it will stay on permanently if you were fishing in a suitable situation at night, or you want to have a quiet moment. If you're fishing in the middle of a lake and it's night, and you only want to know when you get a run rather than little knocks, then you can put D&D on permanently. Let me just turn that on. I'll show you. Okay, so all you do is activate D&D and just hold the buttons down, and then it will lock itself on. And if I keep the button held down, okay, now that's on permanently. I would never recommend that you lock D&D on if you're fishing anywhere where the fish could tether itself, or you've got to know what's going on, because you would be a fool to do so if you're fishing by snags or somewhere where the fish could get itself caught up somewhere. If you're fishing open water, it's a nice open lake, you're chucking it in the middle, and you just want to know when you get a run, then locking D&D on is something that could be done. But yeah, you've got to use it with a little bit of bit of brain. Can you make a quick release for a normal hockey stick swinger? We're going to make quick releases for our products, and our products only. So you can put the hockey stick underneath the so if you had a hockey stick, it would go underneath there, Ian. So that's what you do. You lock it down between the foot and your bank stick. Same as if this was the alarm that you were screwing onto your bank stick, you fix it underneath. That's the same. So, you know, you leave your sticks up, but you know, our ones are very quick and easy to remove, but that's entirely up to you. So there we go. Is there any way of locking the receiver buttons so they cannot be pressed when you're in your pocket? Well, because most things require 2 button presses, that was deliberate as well. There's no issue with it being knocking 1 button, apart from it will do the last activated alarm. So there's no way of locking the buttons off, but this shouldn't, you know, it's not going to set any features unless you've got them all pressed, in which case it will turn itself off or it will go into a default state. If I hold the buttons down, if it gets, we've got a fail-safe system, so if the buttons get locked on and hold down for about 10 seconds or more, it will just go into what they call a fault state, and then it will shut itself down so that you're not, you know, ruining your battery or doing anything if it's locked in your bag. Are you going to release a clear waterproof cover for the RXD? No, there are no intentions to produce a clear cover for this product. It has its own cover, which comes with it. Okay, it just sits on your bench and it is perfectly shower proof. It's not going to be damaged. Your alarms stay outside in all weathers. They don't have a little cover over them. The receiver doesn't need it. You've got buttons to press, you've got LEDs to see, you've got a speaker to hear, and you've got a control to use. If I put a cover over it, imagine that's clear. How am I going to use it? So that is why no clear cover. Doesn't need it. Let me have a look. Are you going to really? That does it. Dave, what are the new LEDs changeable like the Foxes? No, we don't have RGB LEDs. We have fantastic, super bright, clear LEDs that nobody else has. They're 3mm. They're nice and small. They're super bright colours. They're in 6 colours. And the way that our products work, and with the adjustability of the brightness, with the 8 levels, and the night marking facility, RGBs are just not suitable for that purpose. If the world produces a fantastic 3mm RGB LED, and I'll turn that off, then we would be the first to look at it, because it would make our production a lot easier. But there is nothing that comes close to those super clear, super bright LEDs that we have, and that's why we don't have the RGBs. We've done single colours for 30 odd years and it's been all right. So I don't know, you know, if you want to change your colours every day, then there's not much we can do on that. And if that's the killer feature for you, then so be it. But there are far more important things than being able to just change your LED colour. Won't sit flat on the chest, Lee. It's like a base on my chest and the RXD face to the ground. I see a pic, mate. Okay, well that'll be just the clip itself. But yeah, send us a pic, Dean, and I'll see what we can do. It might be how you've attached the lanyard. It might have some options. We're always here to help. My old txi receiver had a clear cover. The new ones don't. Why is this? The old ones had a clear cover. Yep, because they just had a switch on the top and all the LEDs are on the top. This one's a completely different model. That's why I've just explained. That's going to cover all the buttons. You can't use anything. You can't turn it on and off. You can't see stuff. So it's a new design. That's why it hasn't got a clear cover. Let's have a look. Is the smaller case available yet? I'm still using the old one. Yes, let me go and grab this. It's a big one tonight. Lots of questions. You're obviously busy people. So this is the updated black box. Been out. We've had it for about a month now, I think, or 3 weeks. So there we go. They've got the alarms in there. They are universal. Let me just take this one out and pop that in there, so you can see that that fits in there. Really the best fit, and it is, then I would put them with the covers on. Let me just put that in. So with the covers on, so they fit with the covers on. They fit with the covers off. Can you? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. They fit with the covers off. New receiver, old receiver. So it's completely universal. So they are available. Just got the updated logo on. So yeah, a little bit more compact. They are out there. You've just got to order them from your tackle shop. What else we got? Let's have a look. I'm going through them. There's lots of best. I have a blue LED out on my Delkims. Can it be sorted? Yes, Jordan Russell. Download our app, and then you can use the return section and book all returns in from there. Everything's automated. We're all working automated because of the current situation. It looks like it'll be that way, pretty much for ever now. So it's all automated. We're looking at about 10 working days for repairs, and you get it back by that. Let's have a look. Cool, didn't realise it had a mute mode. There we go. Learned something every time I watch these videos. Great, Craig. That's what they're here for. They're here to advise people, help people, and hopefully you'll pass it on to other people, and eventually the whole world will know these things. But it's taking time, like the V2 accessories and all the hangers fit. But there we go. Yes, I'm on Android. I'll try and change the profile. Where? Let's scroll down. I lost that. Yep. Profile, but it keeps saying it. Okay, Dan, I have to look into that with the tech guys. If you want to change your picture, I shall look into it. Do the TXi Plus fit? The black box just answered that, Martin White. So hopefully you saw what it did. Yes, they do. What can you do with the TXi Pros if you have a windy day on the lake and the alarms only give false bleeps? Well, if it's windy, you've got to turn it down. So it's not false bleeps. You've got it too sensitive. So you need to turn the sensitivity down on the alarms, full stop. You have to set the sensitivity or the response to the conditions. There's no getting away from having it set wrong for the conditions. So if you're getting false bleeps, you just got to keep backing it off, and make sure also you have a stable setup. Make sure your hangers are not floating around in the wind. So if you've got hangers that are doing this and just doing that, that's going to set up vibration, that's going to set it off. So stable setup and back it off. You in quite windy conditions, you can still use reasonably high sensitivity levels, so shouldn't have a problem. Loads of stuff on that on our website on setting sensitivity and response. It's the same, in terms of the basics, so please have a look at that. Oh, congratulations, Restream. I've got 100 messages today. That's very good. Piece of new ones for 3. Price of new ones 3. Well, yes, the new ones, the retail price of the new ones, if you're interested in a set of 3 and a receiver, they are 557. So I think you'll find that is very competitively priced compared to what else is out there, but there's nothing out there that does vibration, so that's the only choice is vibration as far as we're concerned. But all the others are rollers, and that's what you've got. Could you show me to adjust the LED brightness, please? David Clamp. Yes, I can show you that. Okay, so that's on. Push button 2. I just hold the button down, and you can see there that it's cycling through the LED brightnesses. There are 8 brightnesses. And when you've reached the one you want, you let go, and that's it set. And I can set day and night. So that's daytime. So it goes up. That's down. So I've just set maximum brightness for night time. But if I set it on the lowest one, there you go. So that's set to level 1. So now I've got daytime, maximum brightness, nighttime, minimum brightness, and that'll have the night marking only. Can you see it? Oh, there you go. It's glowing on ever so gently. So if I point it at the camera, there you go. You can see it now. So I don't know why people can't see it at night, but there we go. More than any brighter. But there you go. So only night mode has the night marking. Day mode, night marking's turned off. There we go. What have we got? I never had better alarms than the TXi Pro. Well, there you go. Or TXi Plus. It's the RX Plus Pro receiver, TXi Plus. Thanks for the advice. No problem. What, Jamie? Curly, what is the problem? What products have you got? Tell me before I go. I'm going to give you, wow, it's 20 past. Wow, you've got more of my time than I ever thought tonight. I've got nearly extra 20 minutes. So if you've got any more questions, please put them up there. If not, I shall go and finish having my tea. But quickly then, Jamie, if you've got an answer, or if not, please message us directly and I will help you as much as I can. So that's it then, pretty much for today. I appreciate your time. Hope you found that of some interest. Certainly it gives you some food for thought on what the new range does compared to the old one, and I'm here to answer any questions. We're here all on social media, we're answering questions. There's more content now than there ever possibly would be, and I'm doing these every week. I've done loads. Please check out our YouTube channel and subscribe, and there's stuff going up there all the time. All these lives are on our YouTube channel. Please download our app. That app is there. It's got new content going on it all the time. There are instructions in multiple languages. They're all videos, bite size, on how to use our products. Not just the new ones. There's old ones. There's hangers. There's everything on there as well. There's spares, how to get spares. There's returns. There's where to find your local stockist. There's your warranty, applying for your warranty. So everything is on there. So please download the app on Android or on iOS. It is there for you. Thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Have yourselves a great week. I'll be back with you again next Tuesday at 6:30 for more Delkim Live. Stay safe, people. We'll see you soon. Take care.